This episode is being recorded out of Shop Talk Podcast Studios in Oak Park, Michigan. For more information, visit www.shoptalkpod.com.
Let me live out my dream. Let me live out as what I intended to be. If you got me, then I can probably see.
To a check. Y'all tuned in to another episode of the LABL podcast. I'm your host, Nametag Alexander. Make sure y'all go to the website, leadingbylegendary.net. You can get some merch there as far as LABL is concerned, but you could also go to my direct website at nametagalexander.com for the newly official work, win, repeat merchandise. We got the t-shirts on there. I got them in black, gray, standard, white. Might add some other colors later, but make sure you check some merch out there. Order some, spread the word. Also, because everybody was hitting me up, my entire career of doing music about having vinyl out. So I now have vinyl that you can get on pre-order for the Hello Victory project between myself and Black Beethoven, which is also available through the Diggers Factory company. You can either go to their website, diggersfactory.com, or directly through mine again at nametagalexander.com. However, we have a special guest on the show. This has been a long time coming. I see her as a legend. I've been following her career for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Been from the D to the A, back to the D. You know what I'm saying? You might see her on the gram posting from Dilla's Delights. We got Boog Brown in the building. What's going on?
Oh, man, life is good.
How you feeling?
I'm well, yeah. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm great because it's the spring equinox, right?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just ironic that it
Happy New Year,
represents,
friend.
exactly.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
it represents balance, new beginnings. But I thought about this. I was like, why is it that we feel better when this particular, when we spring forward, I believe, why do we feel better when that time comes around as opposed to when we set the time back?
I don't know. I guess the world is in hibernation. And I think as, humans, we do a lot to be away from the natural element, natural order of things. And thus we end up suffering greatly for it. So when it's time to get into the mode of where we actually should be.
It's like a relief.
It's like, you get to drop a bag or two.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're all right.
Because I know in the wintertime, I'm like, man, I don't feel like doing
I'm
nothing.
dragging ass.
I don't want to do nothing. Yeah. I don't want to podcast. I don't want to record.
Pardon,
I don't
can I
want to write
curse?
rhymes.
I'm not
fuck
gonna...
yeah.
Oh, well, shit.
we got an edit button. Like,
Fantastic.
bleep that out right there. And
Yeah,
she
you could
cursed
just,
2 times there. Make sure you edit that. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Yeah, I was like, man, I woke up this morning. I'm like, it is a spring equinox. I feel
spring in
great.
your step, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I was recently watching your interview. It was a few months ago. It might have been like 3, maybe 6 months. The Idioms.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dope show. I like that one.
Yeah, shout out to Lamar Landis.
Exactly. I got to get on there.
Yeah,
So I like the
for
setup.
sure.
I like that's a nice little setup. It looked real like therapy, like
man.
I like that was good.
He's got a way about him too, where when he presents the questionings and things, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, this is real dope.
Yeah.
You mentioned something though about not having days off as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
You spoke about being an auntie, getting to speak to that. Like, when you say, like, we say that a lot, but particularly for you, like, what does that intake?
Some days you gotta be by yourself somewhere else doing something else, but those are days that you have to make the time for. For me, I have to be present of mind. That's really what I mean when I say I don't have any days off. Like, okay. I'll take a day off where I just, mentally I have to like shut everybody out and everything else out.
That's
but
so hard for me to do.
It is very difficult if you are like me, if you're used to being, especially as a Black woman, that I'm every woman narrative is not like without, validity or gravity or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit is real talk. So we've all adopted it in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. So to take the moments to honor yourself when you're like, I can't even, I said yes, but honestly, I really can't do this shit. Like I can't be 110 at this point because I need a moment, you know? So when I say I can't take no days off, it's like, Rylan at 5 years old, she don't take days off.
They don't.
You know what I'm saying? She don't pause for almost nothing unless TT or mommy or Nana be like, I need you to cool out. She's very, she's pretty responsive in that regard, but they go.
I got a 6-year-old, so I understand.
You know what I'm saying? I know you.
See, like, you got to relax. Like, she'll say, like, calm down, relax. Like, do exactly that, please.
Please,
yeah. Man, that's understood. I thought about that. I said, I know we all say that, but everybody got their own different meaning. Like me, it's difficult for me to do that. Just to really, once everything is done, like once I put my daughter down for bed, I just kind of sit back and be like, all right, I got a couple of hours to kill. I can either sit down here, maybe catch up on some shows that I miss. I could write. I could be working. And I had music that I'm just sitting on. I'm like, I really don't need to record nothing else right now.
Speak on it.
You know, but I'm like, I want to though. You know what I mean? Or then I'm thinking about something with the podcast or just creative stuff. So it's like my brain don't stop working in that instance, but sometimes I just got to shut it off and it's difficult.
I was just speaking with my partner about it. Like, how often do you meditate? I feel like it's such a tool that it only takes like 5 minutes really to like get a good solid thing with yourself. Like take a moment to yourself.
I don't know if this counts, and I'm glad you asked that.
No, of course everything counts.
Because when I normally wake up now, what I do, I got the Bible app now in my phone. So what I always do is I set it to where I get like a daily devotion thing going on. So I will read that. And whatever scripture follows it. Like I'm not heavy like into this, going through the Bible, but I get that to keep me in tune. And then also I'll read my horoscope, my daily horoscope. So I'll read that. And then that's like, for me, I read slow. So that might take about like maybe 10 minutes tops. And then after that, I kind of just prefer like silence because nobody's up at that time. I'm usually up at like 5 a.m. Right. Just preparing everything. I know our mom is going to get up later and then we get her together. So I know what this day is going to bring for the most part. Right. So I kind of try to use that to just meditate. I might stretch, work out a second or whatever. For sure. And then after that, and I don't touch social media. I don't touch it until like maybe a couple of hours later in the day. So I guess you would say that's meditation.
That's definitely meditation. For a few of us guilty as charged that like roll over into their phones, Yeah. Like more often than not, either it's turning off an alarm or whatever. Right. But I'm glad you said like at 5 a.m. because that's when my grandma used to get up in the morning and pray. Dope. Like between 4 and 5, like 4 and 6, she used to get up and pray. And like if I was ever spending the night, I would go in her room, and that would be our meditation. And my grandma praying was like moving mountains.
See, that happened to me. You know what I mean? Last night, I went to bed a little, for me, early is around like maybe 11 something, possibly 12. So I was like, it's nothing else. Just lay down. Finally, just shut it off, lay down. Yeah. Call myself just listening to music. And then I went to sleep, woke up, and I looked. I said, "Dang, I thought about my daughter didn't have to go to school. She was recovering from a cold." So I'm like, all right, well, I don't have to get up at 5. But I'm looking at I'm like, man, it's like 3 something in the morning, pushing 4. So all right, finally went back to sleep, woke back up literally at like 4:15. And I'm like, now I can't go back to sleep. What do I do? So I did that. I prayed. So all right, just prayed and then read a little bit more and then finally was able to go back to sleep and like rest my mind. But that's interesting that you said that, like literally like 4 or 5 in the morning. I
was also speaking to my brother Baba Soul in Atlanta, and he was like, before he was like, people want to jump into meditation like it's just like a thing you just slide right into, and it's not that. So you have to prepare your body, so you have to breathe. And then you have to prepare your mind. So maybe you want to read something about meditation, or you want to read something about what you like to meditate on, or you want to give some proper thought to what it is you're trying to manifest and like actually prepare yourself. Everything that you do is going to take preparation. Like you didn't just jump into podcasting. You had to learn how to do that shit. Yeah. So like, why would we think that meditation would be any other way? Different. Everything, What was that line?
I used to do that with my rhymes and would think it was weird. Like I was like, okay, I hope I come up with my best or whatever. But I'm like, this just feel weird, but it actually helps. Like you say, it's mental preparation. So that ain't that deep.
It's thinking about it. Like
I ain't look at it that way.
It's like how do you manifest something if you haven't seen it, thought about it, given it any proper feel to it? Like you don't know what it's like when you have it, and so. Oftentimes we ask for things and then we don't give the thought to them. Exactly. And then when they show up, we don't know what the fuck to do with it.
The thoughts do become things. Exactly. Yeah.
But you got to give it detail, man. Exactly.
Like even a vision board. Like I always recommend that. Like I actually have a vision board like in our room, and I actually look at it like every night now.
That's the kicker. Looking at it.
As long as I look at it, I know like, all right, I'm on track. I'll look at things and be like, damn, I actually did that though. You know what I'm saying? Like not even consciously, not even thinking about it in the midst of getting the stuff done. But then when I go back, I look at it like, oh shit. Like I really got that complete. Sure. Like that's excellent.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Man, that's wild.
It's wild how you like master things and you don't even necessarily notice how you've mastered them. But
until you look back, like just taking those steps back, like, oh shit, I did this. Like I actually learned, like just like how you said with the podcast, like I had no intentions on really just starting a show. it really just happened. Like I was a fan of certain shows, and then next thing you know, I remember just hitting DDT up like, hey, you got anything up today?
Yeah.
He like, nah. And I was just, I'm about to pull it up, just set it up.
That's
had
so cool.
no setup or anything, just basically just my iPad, and I had a little mic that I plugged in there, and we started the show, and this episode 46, I want to say.
That's so
dope. I was like, oh wow, man.
That's
like,
real
wow.
dope.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. I
That's
appreciate
real fly.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You also did speaking to like us having like busy schedules and having and knowing when to turn it off. Like you mentioned one thing that stood out to me about having those escapes, like, you know, needing to escape. But then when it's time to escape, we pretty much like kind of surrender it to a vice.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the whack part. I mean, that's where discipline comes in. And discipline has always been like my arch nemesis because that's what I thought. I was rebelling. Like my mom, do your homework, do your stuff. Everyone, you know, everybody in my family essentially were big on education, big on doing shit like well and doing it righteously. And I was always like, fuck that shit. I'm going to do what I want, blah, 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 blah. So discipline was always something that eluded me to a degree, unless it was something that I really, really wanted to do. Like if I wanted to rap or if I wanted to do a show or I would practice then. But if it was something that I didn't or I felt insecure about or incapable of, or if I felt like it was too much of a challenge for me, like, oh man, I can't do that. That's hard. So then you don't do it.
You
right?
rebel against it because you know.
You know it's hard.
That
so
sounds
it's
a lot like me, guys.
Yeah, man. Like it sounds a lot like a lot of us.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna speak on it, but it's just the fact that like I am so proud of myself when I prove myself wrong. You know, the
like
self-talk.
You actually got it done.
Yeah, the self-talk that I've been having for myself, as long as I can remember, has been so negative that you know, you end up accepting what people think about you or accepting what people say about you. It makes you susceptible to like insecurity and things of that nature. And so it's like I had to really check myself on my self-talk. Like, damn, bitch, like how you think somebody else is supposed to be sweet to you when you can't even be sweet to yourself? Yeah. Like how do you feel like you can be sweet to someone else? You can't even be sweet to yourself. So I had to really check what I was thinking about. Like, what was I saying about myself? And that was tied into the discipline. So it's like now I have to actively say it out loud. It makes lots of people uncomfortable and annoyed and all that shit. But this is a part of my healing and I can't do it without y'all, but I can't do it without doing this. This is my process. I got to go through it. And I'm not saying it so you could feel like an idiot or an asshole. And I'm not trying to be an asshole, but my nigga, like if we gonna radiate in the same orbit, like, I can't have you on no fuck shit. Yeah. Like, I need you to hold me accountable like I'm asking to hold you accountable. Exactly. Like, I need that because if we don't do it that way, then we won't. We're going to fall out of orbit, like, straight up. And I'm okay with that.
That's a deep way to look at it. Like, everybody got to be on one accord in a sense. Like,
energy is a big community.
Thing for
that's
me.
The
like,
whole thing. It don't work. You want to go far, go with. You want to go fast, go along. Like, that's real shit. Man. I didn't know that until it was too late in some respects. You know what I mean? You got to lose a lot.
You saying shit that I've been thinking about like for the last couple months or whatever. But hearing it come from somebody else, it's like,
I'm telling you, dog, I'm only here saying what's on the spirit to say.
Yeah, it's like it's through experience too. Because I swear I be sitting around like, man, am I tripping? Like, is it just me? Like, you know what I mean? Because another thing I learned too, like even being an MC, like you can't really. I really just started learning. It's like I gotta chill on allowing people to place their insecurities on me.
Boundaries are key. Boundaries are key.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's like no, because you will let that in and you'll be tripping about yourself. Like, man, what they talking about? It's like, nah, that's something that they dealing with. Yeah. Because if clearly I'm moving forward and I'm elevating. And it's still the same thing as you coming toward me with, like, yo.
Hey, man, niggas got to really, really consider the common denominator and really stop don't be on the front shit all the time.
Exactly.
Like, if everybody has the same complaint about you, then it's you.
Yeah, definitely you.
Like even if you come around to it and you don't think it's you in the end, give it a moment to consider. Because Jesus Christ.
Like you just gotta ask, am I bugging? Like everybody
am I
always
bugging?
say,
everybody keeps saying that. check yourself.
You gotta self-reflect.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
you don't
damn.
want the world to check you. The world don't give a fuck about
Nope,
you.
at all.
Not like your mama do.
At all.
Not like your daddy do. If your mama or your daddy give a fuck about you.
That-
Or if
yeah,
you got
that's the
anybody
thing.
that give a fuck about you. Like,
Yeah.
the world don't care about you like that.
Man.
You know, check yourself.
That shit is heavy because it don't. It really don't. That's one way I like to look
Yeah,
at it too.
nah.
Like, all right, I can sit back. If I'm going through some shit, I can sit back and complain, you know, whine about it or whatever. But it's like when it really boils down to it,
Wah,
the
wah,
world,
wah.
the world
Bitch, I'm
don't
a
give a,
baby.
exactly.
Like,
the world don't give
yeah.
a fuck at all.
Nah.
Like it's gonna keep moving on. That's one thing my mom said. Like before she passed, I remember her saying like, you know, like one of our aunts had passed, and I remember her saying like, you know, at the end of the day, they would have wanted us to keep moving, keep it pushing or whatever.
For sure.
And then when she passed, I remember my brother pulling me aside like, hey, I think I had a show. And I was supposed to be opening up for Rakim. I was so excited about it, but she passed around the same time. You know, I turned the show down.
Yeah.
I turned it
well,
down.
I mean,
My brother pulled me to the side. He said, don't ever do no shit like that again. I'm like, what you mean? She passed. I'm mourning. He said, and you think she would have wanted you to miss the show? Nigga, that's Rakim. What you doing? My mom was musical too, so he was like,
Yeah.
dog, you bugging. I'm like, man, I know,
mean-
man. So I
I
yeah.
mean, but shit, yo, you gotta go through that to get
Yeah.
here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know, you gotta figure out what you won't do, you know?
I'm looking back like, yo, I could have met the God.
I
You know what I'm
mean, and he'll
saying?
be at St. Andrew's Hall. We got like at Dilla's Delights, you can enter in to win 2 tickets to see Eric B. and Rakim at St. Andrew's Hall on April 4th.
Speak on it.
So if
What?
you still trying to meet the God, I think you can still do it.
Like, yo,
I think you can
rah.
still do it.
Yo, I missed your show. My mom's died.
All good. And I think he dap you up real strong
I
and
know
like
all
take
your
a good
shit.
solid photo with you.
Man, that's ill. That's wild. That is
Yeah,
wild.
yeah.
One thing, now, this would bug me out. You said this, like I said, I was watching this interview a couple of days ago, so it's still fresh on my mind.
Word.
You said you played the violin?
Yeah.
Or you can play. I'm not going to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
played.
Yeah.
Can play
I
the
can
violin.
play the violin.
What?
And I just recently, I've been learning sheet music again because I picked up the violin again and I was like, oh, it feels wonderful. And then I started looking at the sheet music and I was like, oh shit, I really haven't like given this a once over in a long, long time. So I've been basically practicing without my instrument, but like my fingering, practicing my fingering and reading the notes and understanding the tempos and all that shit
That's
again.
fire.
Like just kind of reteaching myself that.
You could like cut a whole, like, or direct the whole symphony or something under your government name.
I could in time.
That would be fire. Like, give it time. Give it time. Yeah, I
let's
know.
give it a minute.
I know you said that too before because you was
Yeah.
like, you know, not really rushing. Like,
Yeah,
you was like
nah.
doing it on your own time. Like, that's a thing too. That's a
Yeah.
thing too, especially as an artist. Like, people, yo, you need when you driving. You
And
need
then
to
also
come to-
stop making so many fucking
Oh
announcements.
my
too.
god,
Like,
the announcements
just really
about the
kinda-
announcements.
Yeah.
Like,
Let
got
me
an
announce
announcement
that I
coming
got
at
an
this time.
announcement,
Like,
yeah.
nah.
I got an
Can't do
announcement that
it.
I'm gonna announce something at noon.
I
Like,
chill on that. Like,
yeah.
how are you about that? Like, just with social media now? Cause
I
that's,
mean, look, social media, I am having the most fun with. I am hanging out with
I
my
see.
nephews
Yeah.
and my niece and like some amazing people
Mhm.
and seeing and doing some amazing things and relearning Detroit from
Mhm.
like being in Atlanta to being back in Detroit
I
and
asked you
like
about that.
kind of just resituating and reacclimating to a city that is so brand new but still so the same.
Yeah,
That it's just really cool. I mean, I really don't give a fuck. I know it's a tool.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'll use it as I'm using it as
Yeah.
a tool, but you know.
But the way you do it though, it's like it's your personality
Fucking
is
social media.
spilling into it though. So it's like when you do drop some shit, it's like we into it and we like,
I
oh,
hope
this is
so.
this is the product right here.
I mean, maybe
You know what I'm
because I
saying?
know I've announced a few things. Like if I'm thirst trapping, which I clearly acknowledge that I do. If I'm doing that, I get hella likes, right? And then when I announce something or like I put my new logo up that Skinny Boy Graphics did for me, then motherfuckers give it 45 likes. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it's social media. I never
That-
get caught up in the
and I
idea
know
that
you
it's
know
doing
what
anything.
you're doing with that. I said, Boog,
You
be
know what
getting
I
them,
mean?
man, because they be going for it. Like, you do the
Yeah,
thirst trap, and I look at the likes.
It's like
and it-
dropping crumbs on
Yeah.
a fucking
the
map.
eyes and everything, the
Like,
eyes and
man, come on,
everybody
dog.
looking like, whoa. Like,
I
I'm
mean,
like,
I do it like
Yeah.
at this point. It's like, nigga, I'm just trying to see.
yeah, exactly.
I'm just trying to see something real quick.
The algorithms, man. That
I'm
shit is
telling
something
you, right?
else.
The
I'm
algorithm.
weird about it with social media now. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm
Because it is
getting
weird.
older. I'm like, this shit is just weird.
It is weird.
Very weird. Like,
Voluntarily putting
you know what I'm saying?
information on the internet. Yeah.
But here's the thing that works for me. Like, I can't really do the thirst traps really like that. I don't know.
Shit.
Like, I've slipped a couple pictures in there like, well, I
Word
wasn't
up.
even trying, and it was
Yeah,
like, you know,
yeah.
people who like,
Word.
you get the likes on the stories and stuff. Like, oh,
Yeah, no
okay,
doubt.
well, thanks, but
No doubt.
I noticed mine my likes may go up or something, like if I post something that's informative. Like I did one recently about the I was gonna ask what you thought about that too, with the whole deal with Spotify and all these other platforms appealing in court to where they want songwriters to basically get paid less. Yeah, it's almost
I
like,
didn't realize that.
yeah, it was an act that was supposed to go through the Music Modernization Act to where songwriters, music publishers, we were supposed to get an increase by 44% to receive more basically in our royalties. However, somehow it passed. Spotify in court, them, everybody but Apple Music, which whatever the fuck ever, because they still pay out less too.
Right.
They appealed against it and was basically saying like they actually wanted to get paid less than what we're receiving now. I don't know what it is now, but it's like it ain't shit pretty much. So I posted about that, and I didn't think, I was just speaking my mind on it, like asking like, what do y'all think or whatever, but the engagement went up. It was like, okay. And I'm like, look, I got a episode I heard about this, whatever. Y'all want more information on it, let me know. Now, you know how now with Instagram, it's like you have to accept, like if somebody DMs you or whatever, that you have to accept the request, whatever. I had about like 10 that I missed. So I'm just looking like, well, what is this about? Who's this hitting me up? And they like, yo, can you DM me that episode? This like 5 days later. Can you send me the link to the article you was talking about or the podcast, whatever? I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm like, okay, maybe that's the thing for me now, just be informative about it, because I'm still trying to find my leg with it, because I hate trying to post shit and it feel forced.
I mean, you never lose giving people tools, right?
Yeah.
Like you could never, ever like fail doing that shit, you know? I mean, no matter if the engagement went up or down, like I'm really glad
Somebody
that it
saw
did,
it.
especially because, you know, the information is so, it's in such proximity to what it is you do that it's necessary for you to have that information and to look out for your fellow your colleagues. Is
I never wanted to be that person that, or the MC that knew stuff and just was like, oh, word,
oh man, you
and
be
just
surprised.
withhold it
Be
and just not, and you just get, why have all this? Somebody told me that once, like, why have knowledge of something and you just holding it? Like,
you know what?
You know what I'm saying?
Because knowledge is power and absolute power corrupts, nigga. I mean, that's just what it is.
That
like, there's
too.
no way around that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, no matter who you talking about and who it is, everybody included. Like,
just holding it, like, just
power
you know,
and
like,
ego, like, in the same time is
like, I know all of these things, but you
dangerous.
don't know it. So you wish you knew it. Like, shit is just weird. So I'm like,
That's
nah,
just high voltage,
people need
man.
to know. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
for
saying?
sure.
But that was my thing with it. Like I said, I was just weird about it with social media, and I saw how you got a grasp on it. You know what I'm saying? I said she got a perfect balance of like,
I think so.
the personality, but at the same time, the music too. It's like, cause you'll post some shit and it'll be like, what did you post recently? It was the foul mouth snippet, and I was like,
yeah, yeah, man,
I said, that's how she get us. That's how she get him.
Man, shout out to Foul Mouth. Shout out to Middle Finger Music too.
Yeah, they doing it. That shit was mean. I said, that's how she do it. I said, it's a perfect balance. I said, she got the thirst trap, and then she come with the bars. I said,
and then
okay.
I
said,
she's
okay.
multifaceted.
Yeah,
imagine that, a bitch that's multidimensional.
They gonna
Holy
kill him
moly!
when you post the violin pics. They
right.
like, wait a minute, like, hold on.
Yo, don't wait till they get to the auto heart.
How you feel about the shows lately? Because I see you active out here now with that again, like just more so being consistent with the shows.
I really like shows, but I need a DJ, and I feel like in my bones that I found one in DJ Bet, but like we go see.
Shout out
you
to
know
Bet.
what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Bet because he a G.
I was thinking of a few off top. I'm like,
yeah, but like you know,
Nick Speed does it.
Yeah,
often.
yeah. But you know, it's different when you could be able to work with somebody that you know.
It got a mesh.
It's got a mesh, and I feel like I felt that mesh better with him than I did with, you know, really anyone else. And we haven't really, it's been lightweight so far. So, but it's just like the idea of it was like, oh damn, I see certain like elements of crowd control that will be so improved. You know what I mean? Like when somebody on stage got your back, it's like rapping with a partner.
They know when to drop the beat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you rhyme, like, oh, she gonna say this
we gonna
bar,
find a
you know what I'm
pocket
saying?
and we gonna be there. You know what I mean? And so I'm looking forward to that. So I think that is that's gonna elevate my show to monumental levels, which is what I'm super excited about.
It's always
Super
growth in the
excited
artistry.
about.
That's what's so dope about it.
Yeah.
I think as artists, we have an advantage just being
and he's
able
a DJ.
Exactly.
So his music knowledge is vast. So when I say wild shit like, oh, let's do this, and this, he's not gonna be like, oh man, but that ain't hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't find that.
I don't even know. I mean, that don't even sound good. Like, you know, like, yeah, well. Yeah. But I respect him. So if he did say something like, oh man, I don't know, Boog, then I would be like, oh, okay.
That's wild.
You
I
know
remember Bet when he used to DJ Oslo.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Was you here in the city around that time?
I mean, I was visiting.
But when they were doing like the Twakeover though.
I feel like that's the first place I saw Clear Soul Forces, actually. I feel like that. I know I was in Oslo. I don't know what show it was or where it was or what we were doing, but the first
you really
time
saw
I saw
their growth, like they came so far. Like I remember
time
when they
I
first
saw
jumped
them.
on the scene. Like that.
No, the first time I saw them in Parton. First time I saw them was in Atlanta, Georgia at 529 during like A3C. But the first time I saw them in the city, I was at Oslo.
They super active, man. Just like watching it grow from like
really dope.
For me, I saw them maybe like 09.
Yeah,
maybe like early
that
09,
was They were at A3C. I want to say that year, A3C.
Yeah, and it's funny how stuff connect because I remember. Like, I thought Nameless did all their beats, like, years ago. And it was like, nah, it's Elijah Day. I'm like,
yeah,
who was it? They're like, yeah.
Dope.
I'm like,
I remember I was mispronouncing his name for the longest
me.
time.
Me, same here. Same here. I had to ask him. I said, yo, is your name pronounced? He had to tell me. I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, yo, he slept on. Like, even I was listening to their new album. I'm like, did Nameless do this one? And I'm like, I know Elijah Day does the bulk of their beats, whatever. So I'm asking Nameless. I'm hitting them like, yo, did you do this beat? He like, no, that's all him. I said, well, which ones you do? Because, you know, I'm like, well, let me just go look at the credits. Because, on Spotify, let me check out the credits or whatever. So, super slept on. I'm amazed at their growth, though. Like, they're incredible.
They real cool. And also, shout out to Nameless for that album artwork.
Man,
boy.
Yeah, he's so low-key out here.
So nasty.
Yeah, I did the artwork, too. Like, what?
Super nasty.
Let me go finish up for Namesake real quick and see what you cooking up. That's me on that. Like, I'm slacking on that. Like, it's really just being an artist, like, it's not done. I need to redo this. Let me go pick this.
I feel you. Look, honestly.
I was too wordy on that verse.
But that is important because I listened to my project, Sundown, that I did with Lex Boogie. And I heard so many things that now, as where I'm at with my writing now, when I wrote that, I'm like, damn, that was lazy as fuck. I could really make this into what it really needs to be and really kind of honor the space.
I want to be able to create to where I want people to think like I'm a mutant or something, like mentally, like even if it's simplified though, like, dang, that's the most simple shit, but how you make it sound that way, you know what I'm saying? Like that's where I'm trying, because I've done the super lyrical bars and I listen to those rhymes and I'd be like, I mean, that's cool, but
do you feel it?
Exactly. I'm like, I'm getting older now, so it's like I notice even now with music that I listen to is more so what I want to feel. As opposed to me just sitting back like, oh, he said that wild shit, that was crazy. But it's like, yeah, that's dope, but it just ain't hitting here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do that and people still feel it though. But like, just for me to, like, I just listen to certain shit that's old of mine and I'd be like,
I've come
fire.
to a conundrum though, right? Like, so if we're writing and shit and we're not living the things that we're writing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, whether it be like the positivity angle or whatever the fuck, whatever come with me. Like, if we're not actually living it, it kind of, like, when you hear it back, it don't hit the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, I don't know. I feel like that is for me.
Like you have certain songs and people reach out to you about it like, yo, I felt that was dope. You like, damn, you did?
But then it's also like breadcrumbs. I like to think that, like, on some Hansel and Gretel shit, I leave myself breadcrumbs of where it is I want to go back to or what it is I need to touch back on. Like, really, like, to make, when I listen to my songs, it sounds like I'm talking to other people, but really it's just me talking to me. Yeah. So, I guess that's why when I record, by the time I'm ready to record, it's like I'm at the point where I give no fucks about what people think about what I'm recording. Yeah, okay. Right? Before, when I'm writing it, it's like, oh my God, well, people think this is cool. Well, people like this is dope. But then by the time I get to a microphone, it's like, yo.
It just flow out. And that's,
it got to.
That's why I said that the one time I said something about this. It's like water. It's just like literally just water just turn on and it just go. Yeah. I'm like, damn. I was like,
And whether that water source dry up after that fucking verse come out.
I was questioning myself, like, damn, do I do that? Like, how you go back listen to your shit? Like, did I? Like, I don't feel the same when I listen to this. Like, it just it's a natural flow. Like, it sounds like it come with ease, basically. You know what I'm saying? I can listen to some of my shit. Like, I feel like I've overthought that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was listening when I was listening to the last project, because this last one was self-titled, wasn't it? Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I was listening, I said, yo, this is just flowing. Like, she was just in her bag, like in her pocket, just going. So I was like, okay, cool. So I
had a good time recording it. We did that over time, me and Tom Karuna. Shout out to TC Records over in the UK. He would like send me things to demo, and it was giving me the freedom to write and sing and say and kind of explore new patterns and new techniques, you know, like outside of like the brand of hip hop that I had been doing prior to or had been used to being heard on. And so it was just a refreshing take and also to be able to hear myself over live instrumentation mostly, like for the most part, because Tom played just about everything, you know. And it's just really fresh to be able to be included in something like that. And then to have that reach too. It's like, damn, how you hear about me in the United Kingdom? You know what I'm saying?
They find you. Like, yeah, I was listening to your music.
True.
Like,
I mean, but
really? Like,
but then I look at some of the people you work with. I feel like Guilty's on a couple things. I feel like Dylan Von Mauer's on a couple things. Willie Evans Jr., Peyton Locke, you know. So I know all those kids, and so to be in that number is like just to be considered.
We so
with those
appreciate
folks,
it over
it's like
there.
holy shit, like you know, cool.
It's a fan that always like that I speak back and forth with from Paris. I want to say from Paris, France, and it's like, yo, when you coming out here? I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally,
I think say that
it started because she said she wanted the lyrics to like select songs from the For Namesake project, which came out in 2013. So I'm like,
they still listening.
I'm like, all right, I don't know if I got that notepad anymore, but I know the lyrics, so I'll type them up, I guess. Like, so I'm like, I feel like I got to do it. Like, I'm obligated. And I'm like, well, maybe I don't. Whatever. So then she hit me back like, did you ever do it? I'm like,
right.
All right, well, cool. Like, I get it together. It was a song with Corona. So I'm like, yo, you got your verse for it? Yeah, I got it. Send it to me or whatever.
Of course, Corona got her verse.
Crazy. I'm like, yo, they really, really fuck with us over there. For real.
For true.
Do you feel that we have a market here? It's the reason I'm saying that, and I'm asking that. I say we do, but what do you think? Like, is there a market like within?
Define what you mean by here. Detroit, Michigan, Detroit proper, like in the Midwest.
Music, just period, Detroit.
Do you feel like Detroit has a market? Detroit music has a market?
Yes.
Obviously with T Grizzly and Sada Baby, yes they do.
Thank you.
Obviously with the way
we just spoke about Clear Soul.
Ease Up sold Chevrolet by Slum Village. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
so like, you know, Motown
perfect.
sells things
perfectly
continuously to this day. So hell yeah, Detroit has a market, a music market, of course.
I'm glad you're perfect. So we're on the same page. And I'm glad you brought up the Chevy commercial with Ease Up. So I'm one of the artists that's jumping more heavy into sync licensing or whatever, pretty much. Get my music synced up.
Yeah, I've been following
TV.
that aspect of what you've been doing.
That's my lane.
Yep.
So there's this, it's something called SyncCon. And I guess they're doing another SyncCon, which is in Atlanta. I saw that they did one in New York. So they DM'd me. I don't know. They DM'd me that this was about the one in Atlanta. And I said, well, I don't live in Atlanta. I'm here in Detroit. Right. He said, well, how far do you stay from? Well, I'm here in Detroit. So I said, well, when would you guys do one here? Right. And the first thing they said was, yeah, you know, there's no market there, though.
You know what? Okay, so part of that, I'm going to say this
I was so offended.
Super.
I was like, what?
Okay, so part of what we can do as our part, though, is have a venue that plays live music and stops treating the artists like it's a privilege for them to be there when really it's a privilege for us to do our art in your establishment. And so we need to have equal footing and treat it as such so that when people come from out of town, we can say, yo, XYZ venue is the venue to go to when you in town.
I was so offended.
Always a band rock.
Because I'm like, yo.
That will help with the marketability of Detroit.
I wanted to say, fam, just last week, we had a Detroit 313 Day showcase in South by Southwest. And it wasn't even with the artists who you would normally see, which was great to me. I was like, what? I saw the names on there. I said, yo. I'm like, that's
on that
dope.
set?
Was it Sada Baby? Was he on there? I don't want to say
That's
Vezo.
interesting.
Was T Grizzly on there?
But you know, South by is really, really on some other shit these days.
That too. But just the names that I saw on there, it was more so with, you know, because we're split in a sense as far as
but I would tell you, I would have preferred to see a DAngelo on there.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
And I was, what is she? I've seen her more on some fashion shit right now. She previewed a couple of songs, so I think she's kind of covering that fashion lane like perfectly over there. And I know she's still doing music because she previewed some shit. And I thought No Fear is like, that shit is epic to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and listen to this. I haven't heard
No Fear is incredible.
Oh yeah, okay,
like,
cool.
There's like,
I'm excited.
To me, like Try Me was big, but No Fear, I was like, man, that could have took off.
Yeah, but she
so
be flexing on, like, if you check her features and such, like her feature with Rick Ross is probably one of my favorite fucking joints.
Listen, she
like she is so damn dope. And like, you know, when I hear Sterling Tolles speak on this woman, like this one I know, like, oh shit, she's way more magical.
That would have been dope to see her on there, but like the names that I saw was more so like they always like to say like we're split. Like my guy Marcus. He always likes to say there's the Dilla babies and there's the Blade babies or whatever. So I know exactly what
that's
he means.
True. Yeah.
So the South by Southwest list, it had more so like the Blade generation, which was dope though. I said that shit is fire. Like I would have never thought I would have saw that at South by Southwest or whatever. So when they said that, like, yeah, it's not really a market there. I'm like, did you not see? And I'm like, do you not know what we have here? I'm like, then even on
they don't, because they don't even know that Dilla is from here. Most of them,
exactly,
because you got these young people that are a little bit out of touch with hip hop, trying to market and sell hip hop to people that know hip hop, and it's like, But
even on the level of sync, I'm like, okay, there's a Symbol Sound down there, which is right there. I'm like, they got a whole department that's dedicated to licensing for music for TV and film.
That's
I know
dope.
because I've worked with them like numerous times to get this to happen, and there's other artists who've gotten music placed, TV, film, and everything. So for them to say it's no market here, I was like, yeah, you out of touch, man. Like really, like I took high offense. I was like, whatever. They don't know. I said maybe nobody didn't tell them.
Don't nobody care about us. All they do is doubt us. Till we blow the spot, then they all want to crowd us.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's real
Holds
shit,
true to
man.
this day. Holds
real
true to this day, literally.
Like some of the realest shit, you know. Shout out to Fat Cat.
You
know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, come on, man.
I need to have him on here too,
Come
actually.
on,
I've been
dog.
slipping. With the current project that's out, like I know you say you got the experience with different sounds, like it was more so away from what people were accustomed to you doing.
Mm-hmm.
Why the long wait though?
Oh, man, because shit, I am an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. Like,
There it is.
Like, I don't, you know, and the growth spurts in between projects are so large, I guess. That's not the right word, but they're so vast, they're so, like, intense that once I hear some shit and I hear it again, I'm highly critical of it already, so then I'm going to dismantle it, and then I'm going to go back and fall back in love with it, and then I'm going to go back and get demoitis, and then I'm going to go back and want to reshape the whole shit. So I have this love-hate relationship, which is why I find it a lot easier to just go in the studio, write on the spot, and then rap.
Yeah.
So I don't have the time or space to like critique it and pull it apart, you know, kind of like Tupac, you know. Tupac
exactly.
would just
in there, out of there,
yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, put on the next joint. All right,
Wasn't
put on
no
the next
let's
joint.
mix
Ain't
this, let's hear
no
how this
listen
sounds,
back.
let's
Ain't
throw
no
it
none
on.
of that shit. Just keep going.
I was listening to a Pac playlist I made the other day and was like, yo, man, this legend, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you can really say.
Yeah,
like, it's just legend, man. Like,
I mean,
for real.
You can say who's better, who's best, whatever. I mean, I don't think it's about that at that point. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Legend.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that, though. Like, just being an artist, like, the love-hate thing, the demoitis especially. Because that's one thing that's been concerning me lately. Like, I almost wonder sometimes with the way we're on one particular track or one particular album one day, and then we're off of it the next. It starts to make me wonder, like, is that demand false? Not from us, but from the people who want us to put out the music. Is that demand false? Yo, drop some shit. Like, when you gonna drop it? And then you drop it, and it's like, all right, word. And then on to the next.
2 seconds
you know
later.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, I feel a way because I'm like, yo, you want me to go ahead and do it, but I'm doing it. And then you off
I mean,
of it.
you can't look. Karen Marie Mason. Shout out to Karen Marie Mason, who is a godsend and who is a total champion and triumph in the music industry and for her artists and for the people that she loves. And shout out to her. She's invaluable. She's a gem. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She's a fucking gem. But she was just like, you really got to focus on your super fans. You can't focus on nobody else that's talking that fuck shit. I mean, people gonna say yee-da all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But the people, if you identify and connect with on a level with the people that fuck with you, all it takes is 50 people.
Yeah, literally.
Spending like $20 every time you drop something and you got whatever it is you need.
Bandcamp
you can
actually
multiply
has
from,
that setup too.
You know what I'm
which
saying?
Is dope.
Like you can get all your analytics from even Facebook now. Like are we paying attention to what it is we doing? Now I'm no good at this computer shit. Like I didn't pay attention in class. I was of that generation where the internet was just coming out and I was just like, oh, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And then so all the computer shit was just, if it wasn't MySpace or some sort of social media bullshit, I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah.
So, but the way that things are set up now, as long as you have your ducks in a row and like you identify what it is you're doing and who it is you're doing it for, then you don't have to worry about it. Like people make such a hoopla over motherfuckers that's not paying attention to them.
Yeah.
So what? What about the people that are paying attention to you? You are doing them a disservice.
And that's why I say that
Like,
because
what
I
the
think the ones who, that's why I say false demand. I think the ones who create that false demand is like you just
fuck those guys.
You just want some shit just for the sake of having
Send
the
them a
content.
button.
But the ones
or
like the ones who understand, they're like, yo, take your time. You know what I'm saying? Take your time, and when we get it, it's gonna be fire.
I'd rather have some fire ass shit from you than get some, some semi-authentic, semi-automatic bullshit that was just like in the chamber. So,
and that's why we know, like, when DAngelo takes his breaks, we understand. We're like, all right, when he come back,
when the last time you heard
fire.
Erykah Badu project? You know what I'm saying? Like,
what was the
Between Mama's Gun and Worldwide Underground, and then New America. And then New America Part 2.
Wasn't it a mixtape that she dropped though? Like recent, it was around because it had like the
that
Highline
telephone
Bling
joint.
flip. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it was.
But I think that was the last
and
thing.
Nothing else from there.
You know what I mean? But those are healthy gaps. Think about Sade. Healthy gaps.
Yep.
Between,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, you want quality shit, you can't put a time limit on that. And if you do, then you got just a bunch of hit factory bullshit, which is, I love a hit now.
Yeah.
Come on now. Like, I'm trying to dance too, but
somebody got to do it. Like
somebody got to do it. We need the MC Hammers and the Kid
too.
and Plays. Yo, we need those.
Exactly. What's the one joint that I like right now? The Flip De Niro joint. It's called "Leave Me Alone." You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Leave me alone. You know what I heard? Oh,
nah,
man.
dog.
That's one of the joints that I'm talking about.
He might have heard it because he be in the barbershop.
You know what I'm talking about, my man? That's the shit, man. I fucks with that.
See, I don't be in the...
That's my joint. I mentioned DAngelo too, and I feel like I need to ask every artist that comes on this podcast, because I had this debate with Dean Garcia, and we took it to Instagram before. Voodoo or Firstborn second?
Ooh, nigga. Firstborn second.
What?
Yeah.
Look, no.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. Oh, he's about to kill me. He's about to be like, I told you.
Second,
I told you.
Sorry, dog.
What?
I mean, I love Voodoo, but Firstborn second, you got to understand. Like, I was in freshman year of college, like just being out on my own. It's exactly.
Oh,
it's
what it
time
is.
and place, man. It's the same reason why I feel like It Was Written is a better album than Illmatic.
Well, it is. You know
what I mean? Like,
true.
I just think
that's
it's
true.
to me, sonically, everything about it was just better. It was, a little more polished, like to a certain degree, but the writing was still raw. You know what I mean?
She said Illmatic, Jay, not Stillmatic. I know he's gonna hear this and edit.
My
Like,
God.
he's a Stillmatic fan. I know he can hear us out there. He's a Stillmatic
God.
fan. That's the all-time great album for him.
I know, and Stillmatic was a cold album.
But what I definitely rock with It Was Written though when they compared the two. You know what it was? People didn't like it because he took. That was when he got with Steve Stout too, as far as like just from the marketing and branding.
Stout
took it to next level for him. So for me, it was written. I literally remember the day like going to the store and actually having that tape purchased for me. Like literally going home.
Like I bought it with my own money.
Unfolded that joint and reading all the lyrics. Like woo.
I had the cassette, and that was the one that had Silent Murder on it.
The beige cover. Yeah, man. Like I was looking through the lyrics like. Oh wow, you said firstborn second. Like
Hell yeah, nigga.
Now
Hell
I gotta know.
yeah.
I gotta really ask more people then. Like, y'all, it's really
Have
people.
you listened to Firstborn Second?
Yes, I love that album. However, but Voodoo?
Really, nigga? I don't know, G.
Like even with Firstborn Second, like I told people, I was like, for me, it got like maybe 5, possibly 6 joints. Voodoo just straight down, like straight all 13 tracks.
Second, you can put that on and walk away, G.
Man, maybe I need to revisit this album.
I need to revisit
again.
Voodoo because I felt like it was only like 4 joints on that joint.
What?
Yes. Yeah.
Voodoo comes on hard.
Yeah. I mean, it do.
Like the intro for that was supposed to be on Space Jam. Yep. Nigga. The lyrics: steal you with my 2-shot, control you with my drop, blaze you with my handle, bless you, all that, play you like a pro. All those lyrics that was supposed to be on Space Jam.
All right. Yep. Well, I'm gonna have to recheck that.
I was like, what? So yeah, Devil's Pie. Like,
I mean, of course, yeah.
Africa. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot.
Y'all gonna have me in my mind later on. Like,
all right, I'm gonna go back and listen to Voodoo
like,
too. But as it stands, Firstborn Second, dog. For sure.
I can't wait till people listen to this podcast.
Oh my God. It just touched me in a way, man.
Yo, listen, when y'all hear this episode, if you listening to this episode right now, I need y'all to sound off and let me know which one the real music fans like between
the real music,
the ones who know the difference between. I'm saying like we're that, but I'm saying like the ones listening. I want to know what they thinking out there. The real music fans is listening. I need to know between Firstborn Second and Voodoo. Which I gotta know because when I said it, I had a couple producers like, why would you do something like this?
Right.
Now you in my mind. I'm
right.
like, I never would have looked at that. I said they both came out around the same time. One just had more stats in the game than the other, with DAngelo over Bilal, of course. And hey, I had to know.
I feel the same way when I ask a question like, who you got, Roy Ayers or Curtis Mayfield? That's how I feel. It's like, you can't really...
Immediately, I think of the Superfly soundtrack. So it's like...
Immediately. See, it's an attachment.
But then I think about the Sunshine with Roy Ayers, and it's kind of like just that one song alone. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it was Stevie Wonder or Curtis Mayfield. Pardon. Stevie Wonder
that's a
or
tough
Curtis
one too,
Mayfield.
Though.
That's what
I'm
it
going
was.
with Stevie. I would probably rock with
Stevie.
On
like, if you think about longevity and cultural impact, I could see where you would go with Stevie.
Yeah.
But if you think about Curtis Mayfield and the kind of stirring type of music, like, it's like, how can you... Tough ones.
It's something to think about.
Tough
I
ones,
would have never thought of that one. That's
Donald
heavy.
Byrd and Roy Ayers, like versus, like, how do you...
Dream collab for you. Producer, MC, and also singer. What would be your dream collab with each category?
The singer would have to be Jack Davey. The producer would be Kate Trinata. And the MC would be GoldLink.
GoldLink. Ooh, okay.
GoldLink.
His voice is like, yeah.
And he's so sharp and clean. Yeah, he's so clean. He's so clean. And I love him.
Dope. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think they would make something nasty.
Nice.
Like, and Jack rapped too. So like, she spit a little bit like in her like some earlier, J Davey shit. And I was like, oh shit, her voice with GoldLink's voice over some Kate Trinata production.
Oh, so you saying even all together?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm
thinking
thinking about that. I thought you were talking about Dream Collab.
But no, that's even as far as them, like just I'm like, period.
Yeah, that'd be fresh.
Dope.
That'd be fresh as fuck.
Damn, interesting. Wow. Anything new we got coming? We work. I mean, I know we said like we're taking our time, but like we in
I mean, like we got a couple things on irons on the fire. One we won't speak on this yet because I haven't heard the go ahead on speaking on it, and then the other is my homeboy Illustrate in Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to Illustrate. He's got this project that he does ongoing. It's called the Sunday Bootlegs Project. He just put one out with Civil Rights, which is outstanding. Civil Rights is out cold as a group in the first place, but Civil Rights and Illustrate, they kind of have like this pocket that they just get into that's just so nasty that every time they do something, it just sparks this creative, you know what I mean? So he put theirs out. He put Rosewoods out. Ooh, he put Rosewoods out first. And then I feel like there was another one in between there. I can't say for certain, but the last one was the Sunday Bootlegs with Civil Rights, and it's CIVILWRITES, Civil Rights.
Oh.
And they're fucking cold. Just an outstanding group. Just dope ass young men. Like just really, really cool. I can't speak highly enough of them.
Nice.
And also fly as fuck too. And Zone 6,
That
you know what I
matters.
mean? East side. So it does matter. Absolutely. So it's really nice. It's like they really did that shit. So he's putting out the Sunday Bootlegs with Boog Brown in a couple weeks or months, or I don't know. I don't know, but I know it's coming. And what I'm hearing so far is like it's a bunch of remixes and like re-edits and interpolations. So it's like really fucking dope. His ear is so dope, yo. So I know it's gonna be
active.
Fresh.
Excellent.
Excellent. Oh yeah.
Hey,
and the Middle Finger music joint with
I was about to say. I was just gonna ask about that. Like, when is that coming? Because I need to hear the whole thing.
It's coming soon. Like I've been looking at the dates. I haven't really been like committing it to memory, but I know that's on the horizon. Like, almost like ASAP.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Perfect.
And,
they hit me up.
Couple things. I got some joints coming out. I'm gonna wait until I get in the studio and lay some shit. Like I got some studio locked in at Silent Riot Sound.
You mentioned Silent Riot, online and to me about a podcast before.
Oh yeah.
I know you don't want to go too far in depth behind it, but before we close out, like what's?
Well, I'm so glad you brought me here because this is what I was looking for. This was the missing link, first of all, and then. Second of all, I can only tell you that Flirty and Dirty will be coming to you live and direct.
Flirty and Dirty?
Mm-hmm.
What is that? You know what that's supposed to be?
It's me and my homegirl. And they are interchangeable names. So one day she's Flirty, and the next day I'm Dirty, and then the next day I'm Dirty or I'm Flirty and she's Dirty. Like it doesn't like, but that's not the nature of the podcast.
Okay.
Right. That's just like two funny ass nicknames for two funny ass broads. That's gonna.
But it's gonna draw people to like, what is this? Let me hit
Flirty
the play on this. What is this about? Okay.
Flirty and Dirty, and that is not the name of the podcast. That is the name of the characters on said podcast.
Little breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Breadcrumbs.
All right. Dope.
Follow along if you would.
Dope. So where can they find you online?
You can find me at Boog Brown. Everything really. Oh, except Instagram. That's at one Boog Brown.
Yeah.
B as in boy, OOG Brown, like the color. That's it.
Dope. There it is. I appreciate you coming on. I feel like I learned a lot. This was real informative. I feel like I've grown just in an hour. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
Yeah. Great. Excellent. Y'all know where to go. Nametagalexander.com. LeadingBeLegendary.net. Same across social media. We out.